What's your favorite scary movie?
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
This is my boomstick!
Swallow this.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Arrow in the Head Show. Of course, Lance here speaking, and my co-host, the Arrow himself, Mr. John Fallon. John, life, how's it treating you, buddy?
Life. Busy.
Yeah.
I'm putting the finishing touches on my next feature film as a director called Break. So we're at the finalizing, color correction, sound mix, sound design, composing. So that's been pretty hectic, but got a great team, so no complaints. And in an interesting turn of events, I have started therapy.
Ah, nice. Good.
Yeah.
Not fighting any more people, huh?
No comment. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know about you, man, but the pandemic kind of fucked me up a little bit. I've tried, different things here and there to get my brain right, but it didn't work. So, but it looks like I found some good dude that's able to clear my cobwebs, and I could go back to being the man beast I've always been. So there you go.
Well, I respect it because I feel like there's an older generation that never really got that. I mean, let's be honest. The Sopranos was the whole thing about the fact that this guy, couldn't deal with his emotion. I mean, obviously the mob and all the murder, but good. I'm proud of you, buddy.
No, I know. It's a bit of a. Even me, I was raised like men don't cry. That's the way I was raised. Men stuff those fucking emotions down. That's the way I was raised. But I like to think we've evolved as a society, and men's mental health issues. I think it's becoming more and more acceptable, and I think it's the right thing to do. I always say, my dad, I'm sorry, bro, but my dad used to say, a real man doesn't cry. And at some point when I got older, I turned him back on him and I said, no, a real man does cry because it takes fucking balls to be vulnerable. That's guts, braveness to be vulnerable as a man. So if you're hiding, then you're a fucking coward. But anyways, we're here to talk about movies, right?
Well, real quick, let me tie it in movies just so it feels authentic. As a grown man, if you don't tear people in a little when Stallone is giving that speech in the Six Rocky movie to his son, then you're not a man. If you don't get a little bit of tear when Andrew Friend is standing in that boat and Red walks up with that hat and flies off, you're not a man.
So guys, look, before we dive into this show's movie, we have some great news. As you know, you're watching this on the JoBlo Horror Originals channel. But we're opening up our own Arrow in the Head Show channel.
Yeah, it'll be in the description, and hopefully it'll be right below us as we're talking right now.
All right. So, guys, please, you love the show. You like, hanging out with us, talking about horror. Come and subscribe to the new channel. The show will be fully transitioned from JoBlo Horror Originals to the Arrow in the Head Show channel. And we want to keep doing this. We want to keep bringing our bald asses into your living room, talking fucking horror shit. So come on down.
Well, I think now that brass tacks is out of the way, let's talk about, I think, the most important part, except for the movie itself, which would be drinks.
I'm trying something new again. Eliminated hard liquor from my home just to kind of help me out with this whole therapy business. So I'm going with a beer that I never drank.
Oh, Stella, man. Stella's a good one, yeah.
Stella. What about you? What are you sipping?
I actually ended up bottling some of my mead, so I got the old blueberry mead right now. Finally ready to drink. And as if you can see from depending on my hand, I got a few more jugs of different kinds bubbling back there. So yeah, trying to be proactive and make my own booze.
All right. Cheers, guys. Thank you for supporting us and joining us. And cheers to you, Lance. You bold prick.
Hello, my friends! Hey!
I love cold beer. I put the mug in the freezer and it's ice cold. I fucking love it. But we're shaking shit up. So you want to introduce the film or shall I?
I grew up, I always say this in a lot of my videos, but I'm going to continue. I grew up in the era of the video store. I had a small, I don't know if it's mom and pop because I think it was more Midwest, but I had a family video, which is better than Blockbuster because we had porn and we also had weirder movies. And so Critters 1 and 2 were, very influential to that sort of era of my life.
Yeah.
And brings us to, I think we're going to start with the OG, which is 1986's Critters. Clearly influenced by Gremlins, even though according to IMDb it is written before it. But we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Before we kind of get into the nitty gritty, I would say what makes Critters a unique flick as opposed to just another little monster one, which I still love. Like, I love Ghoulies, I love Puppet Master, I love everything small. Critters sort of goes in different directions. It's not the movie as advertised. And I got to think that's probably why it stands as sort of cult test of time, is because it goes a little farther. Yeah. Maybe a little more convoluted, but I think in the best ways. It's that sort of, it kind of reminds me of like a higher budget, like Full Moon film, central location, clearly not too much money, but just enough in the right places. And it's a damn fine time.
Yeah, no, definitely. For you guys who haven't seen Critters, number one, shame on you. Number two, the film is about, actually, it's exactly what you were talking about. It's about these porcupine alien space criminals who escape.
Space criminals, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're space criminals.
Yeah.
And they escape, and their ship, winds up on Earth, and they wind up terrorizing, a small like farm family. Yeah, it was directed by Stephen Herek, right?
I think that spells Stephen to me. Stephen King, Stephen.
Stephen
Herek sounds good to me, though. We could agree on that one.
Stephen Herek.
Stephen King.
So why write it Stephen and not Steven?
Why not write Jeff as Jeff instead of Geoff? I mean, sometimes it's just different spellings. I'm willing to put money down, buddy.
Geoff is Joff, no? It's not Jeff.
It's Jeff.
Well, anyways, directed by that dude who, did the great Bill Ted's Excellent Adventure. He did MacGruber. He did something else that I know you love, and I forgot what it was. Okay,
hold on. Dude, I swear you're skipping over everything that's important. Okay, as a director, let's start off. Critters, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, a classic 90s.
That's the one. That's the one, yeah.
Mighty's Ducks, Three Musketeers, Mr. Holland's Opus. It doesn't. You're Canadian. Don't you guys aren't you born to love hockey?
I love hockey, but grown up.
Of course you do, yes.
Yeah. Like Miracle, like Mystery Alaska, like Maurice Richard. It's a French-Canadian movie. One of the greatest hockey players ever lived from Montreal Canadiens, Maurice Richard. I like that. Mighty Ducks, bunch of fucking brats.
Okay. But I get it. I get to fight you. I'm just saying, let's give the guy credit. Even Mr. Holland's
I've never seen it. So
we're talking shit. You haven't seen the Mighty Ducks?
No, I don't give a shit about this movies, man. It's not my
thing. Okay. Fair enough. Well, either way, I'm just saying, guy had a pretty solid little start in that.
Yeah,
with the TV. But
what I really like about the film is that it gets its cock and eats it too. What I really like about this movie, it gets its pussy and eats it too. That work? No. It gets its hooker and it eats her too. What? Are you outraged?
I would have stuck with the one before. That makes more sense.
What I like about this one, it has its cake and eats it too. Is that the expression?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not funny though, but we'll go with it.
It's just supposed to be informational.
Exactly. Because on one end, it's funny little porcupines, they have their own language, which I love, that they had like their legit language with subtitles. They drive spaceships, but at the same time, it's also scary. I found the first, scary maybe is a strong word, suspenseful. There you go. I thought the first Critters had a lot of suspense, especially in the first, like I would say, half an hour, 40 minutes. When they land and the family unit is, being terrorized and everything is hinted at before, we kind of like get full reveals of the Critters. And I think that is attributed to the fact that the family unit, which was Dee Wallace, of course, who played, the mom in E.T., the mom in Cujo. She played a mom a lot. Now the mom in this. Scott Grimes, who I know from Critters. But by the way, guys, FYI, he did a great movie that really went under the radar called Nightlife. And it was basically the Lost Boys, but for the zombie subgenre. It's really hard to find. I actually have the Laserdisc, but definitely seek it out. It's worth a watch. It's pretty good. I like the family unit. I believe in the family unit. I like the characters. And then when they start being threatened by the Critters, I felt anxiety for them because I didn't want them to get whacked. Much like in Gremlins, I didn't want the mom or the dad or Zach Galligan to get whacked either. So I think that really worked in terms of having suspense.
I agree. I think has to do a lot with the era. That's the thing I really love about sort of the 80s and especially like the mid-late 80s. Credit Spielberg, even though I'm not sure if necessarily he was the one that invented it or just maybe perfected it, but there is that sort of charm with the family. The daughter, and then she's like dating like the kind of yuppie-ish Billy Zane. The father's like an old-fashioned farmer. The kid Grimes is just this sweet little redhead. Even Don Opper as Charlie. It's like, it clearly like a little slow, I guess, in the movie, but like has a lot of heart, helps with the dad. There's a charm to it for sure, that I don't think would necessarily be put in today. I don't think it's like that type of thing. There's a very sentimental sort of vibe you get from this.
The Amblin vibe, basically.
Yes.
Exactly. And Stranger Things ripped that off. And now, that's why everybody's loving the 80s now, which is great for us because, we're huge 80s guys. So
my thing, though, is, as much as you love the family thing, I think what I like the most is that it actually isn't as focused on the creatures as opposed to the sort of two fish out of water bounty hunters that come down and just destroy shit in the old movie. I think that's a kind of the cool bait and switch. The cover is this giant critter, which you almost never see. The movie's called Critters, and it's like they are the focus in terms of like they drive the narrative. Half the movie is Ugg and Lee just sort of figuring shit out. And I think that's kind of a cool little balance, like you said.
Fish out of water kind of things, like the bowling alley scene or the church scene.
Yes, trying to figure out how to drive, or the one guy always choosing new faces.
Yeah.
But there's something about that I think is kind of charming now, because I sit back and I think like there's no need for it. And that's why early in this episode I said it convoluted, but in the best way. And what I mean by that is that, I don't know, some meteor crash, the Krites be a part of that, or maybe they grow out of it and then they start killing people. But like you said earlier, no, they're prison escapees. They have a language. They're like being hunted by these alien things. Bounty hunters have to like pick faces. There's just a lot of stuff going on that doesn't need to be there, but
it's there,
But it elevates this to be something I think special.
I mean, the bounty hunters, which for me, of course, it reminded me of Terminator. Kyle Reese was sent, back to protect and kill the Terminator, and in this one, the bounty hunters are sent to catch the Krites. I don't know. It reminded me of Terminator. Not that they're there to protect anybody. They're there to, whack the Krites, but still reminded me of Terminator.
Yeah, because he was like figuring stuff out as well.
Yeah. For me, the bounty hunters on paper, it should have been what, you have your main narrative, and then you spend too much time here. Then you have like a subplot to cut away, to cut away to and make things, feel more dynamic. But they took a lot of space. Yeah. They took a lot of room, more room than, I thought a movie of, I'm going to be pretentious here, this ilk would have. But you know what, it worked. And personally, I could give a 10 on 10 on Critters right now, just based on the Color of the Night music video by Johnny Steele. It's a classic. Color of the night, the streets are calling. No, you're not a fan?
No, I think it's an absolute terrible song. It's actually I think, at least part of the movie. Yeah,
really, that's an awesome dude. It's token 80s pop rock. I don't know if you noticed in terms of 80s pop rock, a lot of songs have to do with shit happening at night.
Oh man.
No. Whoa. What? No. All right.
Love it. I mean, I know about it. I mean, I would argue that if we're going to talk about the best song about the night, I would probably go back to the 70s and Seeger's Night Moves.
Great song though.
Well, firm and high.
You also like the Shocker song, so I know you like cheesy shit. Shocker.
Paul Stanley, come on. You don't like the Shocker? Oh man.
I mean, it's
coming
fun.
from a guy that hadn't seen Shocker until he grew fucking pubic hairs.
I mean, I would have hated it when I saw it as a kid. I would not have liked that song. Trust me.
Really?
It's not my thing.
That song.
I love what you love, man. Situation. I was going to say the Kyoto Brothers, I think, with put something really cool together for a small budget. If anything, why they're still relevant today, why I have the Shell Factory box set is because it's such a cool design. Like you said, it's a porcupine with like 30 rows of teeth. They could roll into balls, they could speed away. They have like poisonous quills. It's just a really cool, like, I don't know if the word is amalgamation, but I think what that ends up being is a really cool sort of like iconic design.
Yeah,
You know, even to this day.
grow as they eat.
In this one, they didn't. I wish they continued that later on, but yeah, because the big one is just snacking the whole time. Then you got that
4 feet tall.
Yeah, you ever see the picture, the promotional picture with him and like Dee Wallace? It's almost like the Sears catalog.
Yeah, yeah.
No money aside, and being a low budget sort of movie that's really more focused on the bounty hunters, I think that's a great design and something that I wish we went back to in a better way because we haven't had a good Critters film honestly since the second. Sad to say.
Well, I was always iffy on the second one.
Really, it surprises me.
Yeah. But keep in mind I haven't seen it in a very long time. I actually saw it on the big screen.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I saw it on the big screen because I was a huge fan of the first one, which I saw on VHS. I saw it again on VHS, and I don't think I've seen it ever since. I always felt that they had more money, and I think it was more axed towards comedy than the first film.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. I might be talking out of my ass, but I just remember feeling the pacing wasn't as good.
Interesting.
I remember it was set during Easter, and I remember that giant snowball of critters, that giant ball of critters.
And this one, they could like form bigger balls. It was kind of a cool idea.
Yeah. Line me up for a joke. I have no joke. But yeah, I totally agree. I'm actually going to rewatch part 2 because I have an inkling that I like it better on this round.
I mean, I'll say this just for the people watching. It's my favorite. It's the one I go back to. I think it's like Terminator 2, where the first Terminator they had that sort of slasher horror element. Yeah. And the second one, pure action. This one is pure action. I mean, it does lean the humor a little, but I would actually say it's an action flick first and foremost.
Really?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like constantly fighting them off. They're getting wiser, smarter. They're figuring shit out. It's fun. I don't know. I think Vic Garris did a kick-ass job. But I mean, the first one though is classic Persona. Right? I mean, like I said with Terminator, like this, the first one leads more.
I like Terminator 1 and 2. So.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I respect that.
Leaner, meaner, and like you said, there's like some horror tones to it that I really like. And I like Arnold, or the T-800 as the villain. I thought he was fucking... Yeah. Forget about it. The 2 scenes that will always be engraved in my memory from Terminator is the shootout in Tech Noir, the bar, the 80s bar,
the club. Oh, yeah, the club
you
thing.
Got me burning in the third. Great song, by the way. And I'm going to stop talking about 80s music. We'll never get along. Of course, the police station shootout, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
That's a scene with fucking balls. You don't see that shit in T2.
No, it went action for sure. I mean, like I said, I'm a T2 guy, but I respect you liking T1 because it's more intimate, like Critters.
Yeah,
Critters is more of an intimate movie. More, it's darker. It has comedy, but you're absolutely right though. It does lean more into suspense for sure, and like the creatures are pretty much hidden. I mean, I think that's probably more for budget, but
yeah,
it works.
It has the one location spiel. A family trapped on the farm, critters trying to kind of like Night of the Living Dead or all the films that low budget films, one location. But I'll give part 2 another shot. Part 3.
I mean, let's stop at part 2. Let's start. 3 should have been awesome because setting things in a building is such a cool idea. But part 3, man, is boring. Oh, which is funny because you're quoted on the back of part 3. Like I said, I have the Shout Factory box set, and I realized this not too long ago. I went through all of them when I got it. And again, I'll watch 3 and 4 once in a while just because I bought this, but I don't like them. 3 is disappointing because I think it ruined a cool concept. 4 just sucks. But on the back of part 3, if you could see, I mean, you probably can't, but let me read off. Leonardo DiCaprio gives another good performance, arrow in the head, in this ravenous fun sequel. And I'm thinking, well, obviously, if you're putting arrow in the head for Critters 3, it has to be you. This isn't like a movie review. Me, yeah. So what about Critters 3, John?
Oh, no, that's funny. I remember this one movie when, I was reviewing and it would pull my quotes. This one movie was called just Nun. Not The Nun, not like The Nun, the James Wan thing. Just Nun. It was a Spanish horror movie. And I gave it like a 1 star, 1.5 stars. I always try to find, there's good things, even a piece of shit, I said something positive about Nun. I think it was something like the editing was sharp and blah, blah, blah. And, they put that in the back, arrow on the head, even though I gave it a bad review. So I think Critters 3 is probably a similar, I don't remember how much I gave it or anything. Similar thing where, I had some good, DiCaprio was good. And what else did I fucking say?
John Fallon said, basically gives another good performance in this ravenously fun sequel.
I guess I had a good time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember a fucking scene from it, but same thing with part 4. And I think they did Critters Attack, right? Part
There's a straight to I don't know, DVD movie, and there's a web series. I checked out both of them. They're both horrendous.
Oh yeah,
like embarrassingly bad. Like
how can you fuck
budget
up Critters, man? Like really, like
because I think you need to care. I think this is one of those, like, I don't know, somebody didn't care. It also takes money because you need the critters to look good. And they look like shit. I put a clip right here. It's lame, but you know, it's one of those things. It's meant to be in the 80s.
yeah,
You know, some things are meant to stay in the past, and I think Critters is one of them. I'd love for them to bring it back, but I don't know. I don't say nihilistic, but I don't believe in anything anymore. And I think anytime they bring something back, it's like you got a 1 in a million chance.
yeah.
I was like honestly, what Twin Peaks and what Ash vs. Evil Dead? What else have they brought back where it felt like it had the magic?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, that's, you know, I know you're a younger pup than I am, you know, but one thing that blows about getting to my old geezer age, they keep bringing everything back and it never lives up to it for the most part. Like now I read this morning, they're bringing back, they're doing a The Omen prequel.
Why?
Like, you know, that's it. That's all I have to say. You know, Omen, the original, is a masterpiece. Is basically a slasher movie, and most likely inspired the Final Destination franchise because all the kills are based on accidents. It really reminds me of Final Destination.
That's what at the military.
Yeah. And 3 is the one with Sam Neill, which I really enjoyed. Totally rated. And
cool
4,
little ending.
4 was an HBO thingo that, you know, kind of like a loose remake of the first one, but with a little girl as opposed to a little boy, and it's shit. And it's directed by, we keep going to different tangents today, but that's okay. It's directed by Dominique Auterin-Gérard, the mastermind behind Halloween 5. So I rest my case.
Yeah. Well, it just proves you that as much as I love Critters, I mean, I would be worried if they ever came back with any sort of money. You know, maybe the Kyoto brothers want to come back directing it. Awesome. But until somebody does it well, I mean, there's more bad Critters than good. And that's where I realize, like, I got to walk away and be like, you know what? 1 and 2, man, are my jam. And that's it.
Yeah, no, I totally, I concur. Even though, like I said, 2, I gave it like a 6 on 10, 2 at the time. I remember.
Yeah. I mean, how about this? Give it a look, and then if you don't like it, we'll have an episode. Like I said, the things that really didn't need to be there made this extra special.
Yeah.
So,
the full moon elements, basically.
Yeah. And I know Full Moon probably came out after because it was 90s, but there was something about the band era that I love of, like, you know, like $300,000, one cool concept. And it's like, okay, how do we make it work? You know, Puppet Masters is like this. It's like, how do you take little things, kill, and make it fun? And Critters always been. I like small things, man. Always have, always will. So small murders things will always be here.
Well, actually, you know, out of curiosity, as we both know, when Gremlins came out in '84, it, you know, prompted a bunch of knockoffs. Critters being one of them, even though it was written before. But yeah, my ass. Out of the Gremlins knockoffs, so we're talking about Ghoulies, Troll, Munchies, Elves. Those are the ones I got, and of course, Critters. Which one's your favorite?
Ghoulies 1 and 2. Even though I probably lean more Ghoulies
over Critters.
No. I think we said, like, besides Gremlin and Critters, I would go
No. With Critters in the bag.
Oh no, it's Gremlins and Critters. I mean, I have like 4 of these in my house.
Nice.
And I think it's right there. I got a Critter. I've always wanted one. I mean, it's obviously different. Yeah. So I was like, hell yeah, dude, I'll take it, man. 25 ain't bad. I was like, that's you ain't gonna.
I still want one. I'm still gonna fucking
put it
online. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Well, guys, how about you let us know what you think? Do you like Critters? Have you seen Critters? You give a fun talk about Critters? Go ahead.
And Critters too. You know, since Sean doesn't remember liking it, I'm curious if I'm the crazy one, you know?
Let us know what you think, man. You a fan of Critters? Are you a fan of Critters too? Just fucking go nuts, and you know, we'll interact with you guys. And once again, we are migrating to our own channel. We're really excited about it. We have a feeling that it will bring the show where we've been trying to get it. So please come and join us on that journey. And I don't mean
to subscribe in the description.
Yeah, please.
So
and that's it, man. Well, look, I'm gonna go finish this beer. And Lance, always great to see you, bro.
All right, buddy. Until next time, everybody. I'll see you guys soon, and you know, drink and stay safe.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Be good.
Hello, my friend!